Okay, ma, good morning to all of you. So, the last phylum, 11th phylum, Chordata, general characters, silent features of Chordata. Chordata is named because of the presence of notochord, a chief character of Chordata. Presence of notochord is a supporting rod-like structure. Notochord derived from notochord actually lies on dorsal side. Location also you must know it lies on dorsal side and derivative of mesoderm. Notochord derived from mesoderm is a derivative of mesoderm. So that is nothing but vertebral column. It is a chief supporting rod-like structure. If anybody asks you what is the chief supporting rod-like structure of chordates, it is asked like this. Notochord. Chord means rod. That is the meaning of notochord. Hence, it is also called, as it lies on the dorsal side, it is also called chorda dorsalis. Chorda dorsalis is the other name of notochord. So, on notochord there are so many points in our academy, but here very much reduced. So, chorda dorsalis is the other name of notochord, a chief character of chordates. So, a chief character of chordata, if it is asked, your answer must be notochord. Unique feature of chordata also, chief character or unique feature of chordates. If anybody asks you, your answer must be notochord. So that is also another. These are all indirectly asked questions, not given in the exam. But of course, in the last page of Animal Kingdom, already I told you there is a table. In that last column is unique features of all phyla. So there also it is given notochord. And other hallmarks of chordates, other chief characters of chordates, diagnostic features of chordates are dorsal tubular nerve cord, dorsal tubular nerve cord is the second chief character of chordata because both lies on dorsal side. When the notochord is formed, nerve cord passes through the notochord. So locations of these two are carefully noted down. Nerve cord lies above the notochord. This is important point. Lies above the notochord. Notochord lies below the nerve cord. And also between elementary canal and nerve cord. Location of notochord. So this is also given. Location of notochord is between nerve cord and elementary canal. Or you can also say above the elementary canal and below the nerve cord. It implies that the sentence meaning also, it does it mean like that? Elementary canal means between nerve cord and elementary canal it lies because That's why it is located above the alimentary canal and below the nerve cord. Either of these you can say. And location of nerve cord. Already nerve cord lies above the notochord we have given, but in detail, if you want to know, location of nerve cord below the body wall or between the body wall and notochord. Between the body wall and notochord. Should say like this. So regarding these two points are very important. Ninth and 10th points are very, very important. As usual, you can keep the star marks. So that is about the location of nerve cord between the body wall and the notochord. And third diagnostic feature is pharyngeal gill slits. Pharyngeal gill slits, they may carry respiration or may not carry respiration, because in some these gill slits are vascularized, then it is respiratory, they are respiratory in function. In some they are not vascularized. In such a case only water passes through the gill slits in some aquatic organisms. Mainly gill slits are the unique features of the aquatic chordates, but not the terrestrial chordates. So pharyngeal gill slits, a feature of aquatic chordates. Say like that, mainly they are aquatic chordates, present in aquatic chordates. But in embryos of terrestrial adults also it is present. But in terrestrial forms or land forms, they are present in embryonic condition only, but not in the adults. They are present in embryos, but absent in adults. See, these are the changeable points regarding pharyngeal gill slits, but absent in adult terrestrial chordates. So this point also very important point. Pharyngeal gill slits mainly present in examples. Those two are present in all: dorsal tubular nerve cord, notochord, at least in the embryonic condition. Nerve cord anyhow always present, but these are present only in all, not in all aquatic chordates. Like examples of gill slits. What are they? Protochordates. Protochordates means urochordata and cephalochordata, combinedly called protochordates. Both are called protochordates. All Pisces, some amphibians, not all amphibians, some amphibians have these gill slits. And embryos of all vertebrates. Embryos of all vertebrates. At least they are present in the embryonic condition. So these are the 3 diagnostic features out of 4 diagnostic features. The 4th diagnostic feature, is post-anal tail. Post-anal tail also unique feature of the chordates. After the anus, the caudal region is present. That is distinguished as tail, post-anal tail. So these are the 4 hallmarks of chordates. 4 hallmarks. This is also recent 4 marks question also. 4 hallmarks in Telangana paper also it is given. 4 hallmarks of chordates. If anybody asks you, or what are they? Notochord. Again, in a sequential order, you keep them here. Nerve cord, pharyngeal gill slits. Say pharyngeal gill slits because gill slits are located in the pharynx region of alimentary canal. Pharynx is perforated with the numerous gill slits and post-anal tail. So these are the 4 diagnostic features and chief characters of card data. Diagnostic features of card data are four hallmarks of card data. They are all one and the same. And then next one is this point anyhow you know, triploblastic body wall. Common features from nematoda to card data. Triploblastic, bilaterians are bilaterally symmetrical. You can also say bilaterally symmetrical, and the organ system grid of organization. There is 4 points. All number of times we have repeated. And lastly, those 4 are the diagnostic features. These 4 are the common characters of nematoda to card data. And coelomate animals. These are coelomates, eucoelomates. What type of eucoelom present? Enterocoelom is the body cavity of the chordates. Enterocoelom is the body cavity of chordates. So thus, these are the general characters of chordates. Besides that, another important point, metamerism. Metamerism is also exhibited by chordates. And chambered heart is also present. Chambered heart, 2 chambers, 3 chambers, 4 chambers. Chambered heart is present. Kidneys also present for the elimination of waste. So these are all paired organs are present which carry the specific functions. So all these are the characteristics of the chordates. Closed type of circulatory system. This is also already given except urochordata. Closed circulatory system. Of course, in the NCERT this exception is not given, but we know that in the academy, hence we should note down. Except in urochordates is an understanding type question, additional point as far as NEET is concerned. So thus general characters of chordata and classification of chordata. Regarding classification, every phylum is classified based on notochord. Classification of chordata is based on notochord. By the presence or absence of notochord or by the replacement of notochord. Based on notochord, chordata is classified into 3 subphyla. Was classified into 3 subphyla. Number of how many subphyla are there in the chordata? 2016 NEET paper this bit is there. Including hemichord. Amma? 3 subphyla. But including hemichordata, some people wrote 4 subphyla. 4 also given. So recently in the offline class, the last class is hemichordata. On that day I told you that previously hemichordata was included in chordata, but now it was deleted, removed from chordata and given independent phylum status as a non-chordate phylum. 10th non-chordate phylum. So that's why hemichordate should not be. Once upon a time it was treated as a subphylum of chordata. Now not now. It was removed. So that's why number of subphyla of chordates always answer must be 3 subphyla, because that line, first line of hemichordata everybody read out. When everybody read out that first line of hemichordates, generally there is an assumption that 4 subphyla are there. So previously, if it is added, how many subphyla were there previously in the chordata? If it is added previously, then 4 subphyla. So that bit, so many of our NEET going students unnecessarily, unfortunately, lost the marks for that. Very simple question. Number of subphyla chord data, 3 subphyla. So the 3 subphyla are, you all know, Urochordata. This evolutionary order you have to mention. First Urochordata, second subphylum Cephalochordata, and third subphylum is Vertebrata. Third one Vertebrata. So like that you have to place the subphyla in an evolutionary order. So both Urochordates and Cephalochordates, Urochordata plus Cephalochordata, equation form, let us take this, is equal to Protochordates, combinedly called, is equal to Protochordates. Say Protochordata, don't say Protochordates. These are Protochordates. What are the Protochordates? Urochordates and Cephalochordates, but don't include the Vertebrata. These are the proto means first chordates, primitive chordates. So the most primitive chordates are Urochordates. In the NCERT only one line is given regarding Urochordata. So the most primitive chordates, if it is the bit, your answer must be Urochordates. Don't write the other Cephalochordates, etc. So Protochordates are the first chordates. Protochordates have 2 subphyla, Uro and Cephalochordates. So the most primitive chordates are Urochordates. Urochordata means, Urochordata meaning is, Uro means tail, chordata means notochord. Urochordata means presence of notochord in the tail of larva, not in the adults. This point is very important. Always they are asking, notochord is absent in the adults of the following, like that. Urochordata means presence of notochord in the tail of the larva. That we should mention. The tail of the larva, but absent in adults. Complete sentence you must write down, but absent in adults, noteworthy point. Name Urochordata is given due to the presence of notochord in the tail of the larva. That should be underlined. So, also called tunicata. Urochordata also called tunicata, because the body is covered by test or tunic, shell-like structure, also called tunicata. That is why the name given tunicata, because it is covered by shell, test or tunic made up of cellulose-like material, tunicin. Hence it is tunicate. So Urochordata also called tunicata. And commonly known as, Urochordates are commonly known as sea squirts. They are commonly known as sea squirts. This is familiar name. You have to remember sea squirts, because these are sedentary forms, maximum, mostly sedentary forms attached to substratum. They are removable. If they are disturbed by any animal, they release the water forcibly through the bronchial aperture. Forcibly comes out, water comes out like a syringing manner. So that's why that phenomenon is called squirting. Hence these are commonly called sea squirts. Examples of Urochordates. Examples of Urochordates: Asidia. Asidia is a common name, but scientific name if you want, Herdmania. Salpa and Doliolum. Salpa and Doliolum. So these are the examples, 3 examples. In our book, Pyrosoma and other examples also given, Botrytis, they are all there. So it's a chief larva if you want, chief larva of Urochordates. These are additional points. Chief larva is Ascidian tadpole larva. Ascidian tadpole larva. It undergoes retrogressive metamorphosis. Acidin tadpole larva undergoes retrogressive metamorphosis because all the chordate characters present in the larva are lost during metamorphosis. Loss of all the chordate characters during metamorphosis is called retrogressive metamorphosis. That is the definition of retrogressive metamorphosis. What is the definition of retrogressive metamorphosis? Loss of all chordate characters during metamorphosis is called retrogressive metamorphosis. Like that you have to write the definition of retrogressive metamorphosis. So in our class, to reach this much number of the points, it took very much time. But in the online class, still there is a time. So many bits we have covered. So next one is cephalochordata. The cephalochordates are the typical chordates. So these are typical chordates. If anybody asks you, cephalochordates are typical chordates, assertion. Reason is, what is that reason? You know, they have all the chordate characters. They have all the chief characters of chordata. All the chief characters of chordates. That is the reason. Most important assertion reason question. Every time it is coming in the examination. Which chordates are typical chordates? Cephalochordates. Why? They have all the chief characters of chordates. What are the chief characters of chordates? Notochord, dorsal tubular nerve cord, pharyngeal gill slits, and postanal tail. These are present. So they have all the chief characters of chordates. And in addition to this, the notochord is present from end to end of the body. That's why the name cephalochordata. Notochord lies or is present from posterior to anterior region. It extends even into the head also. Anterior even into the head. You should write down this point because cephalo means head. Even into the head. Notochord is present from posterior to anterior even into the head of cephalochordates. So that's why cephalochordates are so named. Head of cephalochordates. So that's why hence the name cephalochordata. Simply in the bracket you write down hence the name. That's all. Hence the name implies that cephalochordata. Already cephalochordata we have written here. So that's why. Now examples of these are commonly known as lancelets. Cephalochordates are commonly known as lancelets. They are commonly known as sea squirts. These are commonly known as lancelets. Very familiar common name. Lancelet should be underlined, double underlined. Cephalochordates they don't ask. They use these lancelets when the bit is setting. They use lancelets. So that's why you remember this point. And then commonly known as lancelets. And also example, single example is there. Amphioxus. Amphi means both. Amphioxus. Axis means points. Amphioxus. Amphioxus is a pointed ends. Both ends are pointed. Also called branchiostoma. Branchi means gills. Stoma means mouth. Near the mouth, number of gills are present. Hence, it is also called branchiostoma. Other name of Amphioxus. Common name is lancelet. This is about the cephalochordata. That's all it is given. And then subphylum vertebrata. Some chordates are vertebrates. some chordates are vertebrates. That is assertion. The reason is notochord lies in the embryo. This is the reason. Lies in the embryo and is replaced by vertebral column in the adults. And is replaced by vertebral column in the adults. So this is the important point for the name given to vertebrata. Notochord lies in the embryo and is replaced by vertebral column in the adults. So that's why it is so called vertebrata. Hence, there is one slogan, all vertebrates are chordates. Because at least in the embryo also notochord is there. All vertebrates are chordates. But all chordates are not vertebrates. This is always given. From 2016 onwards, I think 2 papers this bit is there. All the vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Because urochordates and cephalochordates, you cannot say they are vertebrates. All chordates are not vertebrates. So this most important slogan is there. Just like all enzymes are proteins, but all proteins are not enzymes. All locomotions are movements, but all movements are not locomotions. There are so many statements like that. They are there. So here all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. So this is, here it is, this point in the vertebrata subphylum. And then coming to the vertebrates, paired appendages are present. They may be fins or limbs. Paired fins or limbs present or absent. Another unique feature of vertebrates. So far fins and limbs never used. Here only for the first time we have used these fins and limbs as locomotor organs. Gills may be present or absent in the adults. Because reptiles, birds and mammals, in the adults there are no gills. But urochordates, cephalochordates, cyclostomes, fishes, amphibians, some amphibians, they have gills. Gills may be present or absent in the adults. Adult gills are present in urochordates, cephalochordates, all pisces and some aquatic amphibians. That's all. So that is another point. Heart is either two-chambered, 2, 3 or 4-chambered heart. Chambers of the heart: 2-chambered pisces, 3-chambered amphibians, reptiles except crocodiles, 4-chambered heart crocodiles, birds and mammals. Already in the animal diversity 2 we have given previously. Now it is repeated. Kidneys eliminate waste. Kidneys help in osmoregulation and excretion both. Osmoregulation and excretion. Except protochordates. That you have to write down. This is the neat style bit. Kidneys help in osmoregulation and excretion except if it is asked, your answer must be protochordates. They will give examples also. So when they are giving examples like Acidia, Salpa, Doliolum, Amphioxus, then you have to answer that example only. Now this is protochordates. This is uniformly come under this protochordates. They are all. So that is. And paired sense organs are present like eyes, nostrils, ears, etc. So paired sense organs also characteristic feature of the phylum, subphylum Vertebrata. This is about the paired vertebral column, common name backbone. It is a backbone of our human body. Is vertebral column. Paired sense organs also present. And The vertebrata is classified into two divisions as per the NCERT book only, into two divisions. Based on jaws and paired appendages. So these two are the most important basis for the classification of subphylum vertebrata. Based on jaws and paired appendages is the basis for the classification of vertebrates. Vertebrata is classified into two divisions. The two divisions of vertebrates are Agnatha and Gnathostomata. Two divisions of vertebrata are Agnatha, means jawless, meaning itself it is, and Gnathostomata, mouth provided with jaws. So Gnathostomata. There are the two divisions. The first division is Agnatha. So jawless, limbless vertebrates, like that they ask. Agnatha. A always denotes the absence of that character. Gnatho means jaws. Jawless, limbless vertebrates. Agnatha. Examples: first living vertebrates. This is the bit. Only class of Agnatha. First and last living class. Living means extent. In the bracket I write down extent. Extinct means perished. Extent means living. First and last living class of Agnatha is Cyclostomata. Cyclostomata. Sometimes this bit is coming like this: the most primitive vertebrates. Primitive living vertebrates, better you say. If it is asked, your answer must be cyclostomes. Cyclostomata simply we can call cyclostomes. The most primitive living vertebrates, cyclostomes. Most important. So now the cyclostomata means round mouth, circular mouth. Cyclostomata means, cyclo means circular, round. Circular or round mouth. That is the meaning of cyclostomata. See, 52 points already. This much points we never reached in the offline class. Offline class, so many doubts you ask, that's why it is being interrupted. Hence the number of bits also maximum 40, between 40 and 50 it is. Now it is crossed 50 also. I think one day we have crossed 50 in our class. So now the next one is the structures absent. The structures, this is a very important point. The structures are absent in cyclostomes. Like this you have to keep this heading. Cyclostomata. The structures are absent. I will list out all those. Jaws, fins or limbs, scales also absent, smooth moist skin. Jaws, fins, scales. These are absent in the cyclostomes. So, number of points you need not give, but all these three clubbed into 1 point. Structures absent in cyclostomata: jaws, paired appendages, fins or limbs means also called. In the bracket, if you want, you can write down paired appendages. They are absent. Okay. So fins or limbs, paired appendages, these are absent. Now, cartilaginous noteworthy point. The NCERT book, you underline this point. Cartilaginous cranium. Cranium is a box of the brain, and the vertebral column. Cartilaginous cranium and the vertebral column. Both are cartilage, not bony. Endoskeleton is cartilage, not bony endoskeleton. So cartilaginous cranium and the vertebral column are present in the cyclostomes. Very important point. So sometimes notochord is persistent. Persistent notochord also a point in the chondrichthyes, but here also it is given persistent notochord. Means notochord present throughout life. That's why it is in a cartilaginous condition. Persistent notochord. And then 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits are present. Most important point. 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits. Another point you have to underline. 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits as locomotor organs. And smooth moist skin is present. Smooth moist scaleless skin. Already scales absent we have given, but this here also you can mention. Smooth moist scaleless skin is present, and these are mostly both marine and freshwater. This is also in the beginning itself it is given both marine and freshwater forms. So some migrate to some cyclostomes migrate to freshwater form, mainly marine. Migrate to freshwater bodies, freshwater rivers for spawning purpose. Rivers for spawning means laying eggs for spawning purpose. They go to rivers, migrate to rivers, and after spawning they die. Migrators. This migration is called anadromous migration. Sea to river. Some migrate to freshwater river for spawning purpose. From sea, can also add this point, from sea. So this migration is called anadromous migration. You know about this already, we have given previously. Migration of any organism from seawater to freshwater is called anadromous. From river to sea is called catadromous migration. Eel, Anguilla bengalensis. So that is also we have given previously. So some migrate to freshwater river for spawning purpose from sea, called anadromous migration. After spawning they die. This question always coming in the examination. After spawning, which mothers will die? That is the question. After spawning they die. They don't go back to river, sea. They die in the river itself. And after metamorphosis, this point is noteworthy. After metamorphosis, they go back to sea. After spawning, the eggs are hatched out into larvae. The larvae undergo metamorphosis, again go back to sea. After metamorphosis, that's why they go back to sea. for their to lead their normal life. So these are the most important points of cyclostomes. And tongue has horny teeth. Tongue has horny teeth. So last point is very important point. I am noting here. You see this. These are ectoparasites. These are ectoparasites on fishes. They suck the blood of fishes because mouth is suctorial. Mouth is already circular. Circular mouth helps in sucking blood. Circular mouth and or suctorial mouth. Suctorial means sucking. Function of mouth is sucking the blood of the other vertebrates. So Ancheta, the bit is coming like this. The ectoparasitic vertebrates on other vertebrates, especially Pisces, on other vertebrates. In the bracket, if you want, you can write down fishes or cyclostomes. Another important point. So these points must be carefully noted down and remember forever. Cyclostomes gills these bits, and after spawning they die. They are all important bits. After spawning they die. 60th point also. Very important. Today 65 record break. After starting Animal Kingdom, we have covered the 65 neat bits. So ectoparasitic vertebrates on other vertebrates. Okay na? Now examples are 66 examples. These are also important for matching. Lampreys. First example, lampreys. Lampreys petromyzon. Petromyzon, scientific name, and common name is lamprey. And second example is hagfish. Hagfish, another common name also you can give in the bracket, slime eel, is myxine, is a hagfish. It feeds on live fish, feeds on another additional point, live fish, and feeds on dead fish. That is the difference between hagfish and lamprey. Feeds on dead fish. So these are the cyclostomes. And then the typical diagram of chordate. Typical chordate diagram, very very important. Number of times I told you. This typical chordate diagram is there. I will draw here and you take this diagram. So this is like this. And here mouth is there, pharynx is there, and gut opens to the exterior as anus, that is there. Here gills are present, pharynx is perforated with gills, and this is notochord. Throughout the body it is there because it's a typical chordate, notochord. And also you can draw this nerve cord. Above the notochord, this is nerve cord. So take the labeling now. Body wall. This typical chordate diagram always important. Nerve cord, dorsal tubular nerve cord actually, but simply write down nerve cord. And this is notochord. Hallmarks of chordates. Post-anal tail. After the anus, this part. Post-anal tail is here. And this is anus. And gill slits pharyngeal, gill slits, alimentary canal. Simply say gut. So this is the typical chordate, important for diagrammatic representation. So typical chordate diagram already I told you previously also. Now I have drawn this diagram. Okay, you are there, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, amma. Okay, okay. I can end the class, amma. I can end the class. Exam bar asera yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now we can discuss after vacation, or if you call me in group, I will clarify the doubts. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you all. Happy Dasara. Happy Dasara.
Thank you.
God bless you. Right, right, Amma. Bye.